Speaking of Curt Gowdy, did you see
Who?
the All-Star Game? And when Kershaw went to meet the media, did you see that whole spiel with the little boy?
I'll be honest with you, the only part of the baseball all-star game that I saw was
That's all I saw is the Kershaw thing.
Denzel's tribute to Jackie
Oh,
Robinson.
I didn't even see that. I didn't watch any of it, and I didn't even see
It's an
this
after the
live.
fact.
And this was, after Kershaw pitched. So he's talking to the media, and then this little kid comes up. Hey, I want to know how the little kid got credentialed, but that's another story. So he went up and he was telling Kershaw that his grandfather's dream was to meet Curt Gowdy and Kershaw. And then he starts talking, and then the kid breaks down a little bit because the grandfather died from brain cancer.
Yeah.
And that he's living his grandfather's dream. And it was just cool. It was just a cool moment. Kershaw went up and hugged him and talked to him, and then, kind of to break the, the atmosphere, he's like, do you have a parent here? Like, just trying to get some pictures and stuff. But it was really a cool minute. Did you watch on the 4-Letter Network all week was the Make-A-Wish events, where they film 5 events. One was with Clay Thompson, which was really cool.
Yeah.
And granted, I know there's cameras and it's filmed, so it's a little bit, showy. But it's really cool of all of you athletes and non-athletes that do those Make-A-Wish.
I think it's awesome. And the Make-A-Wish, because it's like a big organization, I understand like the filming of it, and they want to get sponsors, donations, and stuff like that. So I get that.
I have a problem with it.
Okay.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
What I have a problem with is people, let's say you go get somebody $200, you go feed the homeless, right? You film that, I'm like, that's touching, right? The Make-A-Wish thing for me, why I don't mind the cameras is because it's a kid that they go, you have terminal whatever, you're dealing with this kind of trauma, and you're like, hey, my dying wish is to see John Cena. And you might have never got his attention without
Right.
Make-A-Wish going to him. So I still understand that somebody like John Cena, Beyoncé, people who have those full days to take that time out and go spend an hour or two with the kid, I respect that a lot.
Did you see Cena just flew somewhere in Europe? He happened to be in Europe, and he flew to another country
Yeah.
to go meet this little boy. I was on the board of the Marty Lyons Foundation. Marty's from Pinellas Park, played for the Jets, played Alabama, All-American, blah, 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 blah. I talked to Ron yesterday, blah, 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 blah. And part of the Marty Lyons was that they didn't film, they didn't promote, they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
The flip side is you don't get those kind of donations
Yeah.
by not getting out there. So it is a
Yeah.
a kind of flip on which way it was, but it definitely was cool. The entire week, and I don't remember who the other 4 were, but
Yeah.
there's so many athletes that do that, and John Cena, I'm sure you know this, is the number one wish of in the world.
And he's done so many. He's something crazy like 400 and something Make-A-Wishes, which is ridiculous.
What does
Awesome by him.
What does and a lot of athletes have told me this, that it's mind blowing to them that your dying wish
Yes.
is to meet. Like Forrest Griffin met a youngster that I helped set up at UFC 100, and he literally broke down.
Yeah.
He's like, his wish, his dying wish, was to meet me.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
It's nuts. It's nuts. And I've done stuff like that with like teams, and like where the team would go to like a cancer hospital and you go to see like terminal cancer patients, and like they see you and they light up like, oh my God, you play for my favorite team, and like they want to talk to you and get to know you. And I'm like, dude, like what you're dealing with, I don't know that I want to see anybody. I'm just like, yo, like and then they get so happy, and like it's humbling. Honestly, it really is.
The Forrest Griffin one, and I know I've told the story numerous times. So Forrest is supposed to fight at UFC 100, and there was a local wish, and people knew that my connection with the UFC, and they're like, hey, can you set it up? And ironically, I talked to Forrest's buddy the other day, Frank, up in Athens, and we set it up. Forrest was now off the card. Mm-hmm. There was an injury or whatever. Forrest goes, yeah, more than happy to do it. Let me know when they get here. I'm like, what do you mean, let you know? He goes, let me know. I said, all right. So the plane lands in Vegas. I remember it vividly. And I call Forrest. I go, all right, Forrest, their plane just landed. He goes, all right, let me know when they get to the hotel. I'm like, why? This is all set up for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Just let me know. All right, Forrest. So they didn't get to the hotel, and I call, all right, Forrest, they're at the hotel. What hotel and what room? They're going to meet you tomorrow at noon. He goes, well, tell me what hotel. He got in the car and drove to the hotel.
Awesome.
Knocked on the door, and it was just crazy. And then they sat next to Dana for the fight. And I remember I was in the first row of the 100 level, and Forrest is on the phone, and all these fans are coming up and putting their arms around him, trying to get pictures.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen all this stuff. And Forrest is on the phone, and then he turns to me, he sees me, he's like, I'm trying to get a hold of, I forget the boy's name.
Yeah.
And because he was trying to get him down on the floor and over there with Dana, and it was just so cool. It was, and so when people didn't like Forrest, I bring up that story.
Yeah.
You know, what you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of these guys that have the persona, you know, Chael Sonnen has this persona of being a jerk.
Yeah.
One of the nicest guys in mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
You know, but you don't know that. And so, yeah, big ups to Forrest.
And it's like because you feel like you know someone because you see them on TV all the time.
You don't know.
You go and judge somebody off one mistake, or you judge somebody off of one bad encounter. Everyone has bad days. Maybe you caught him on a bad day. Maybe something happened at home with his wife. Maybe whatever the case may be. And to go there and be like, oh man, I hate this guy because I asked him for an autograph a year ago and he didn't.
I was going to say, I'm going back full circle.
Yeah, and
how many people hate Warren Sapp because he won't sign an autograph?
It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me.
Not
And
Albert Pujols.
another thing that gets me upset also is when you have these situations where. Lost my train of thought for a second. But
Talking about the autographs from Sapp.
yeah. When you have these situations where, oh man, I'm blanking.
Now, if you feel like me.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know, the Warren, there was a one with Warren a year or two ago, and it was all on Twitter, and a guy tweets Warren, and the tweet was, and I'm going to paraphrase, "Hey, bro, buddy of mine's house burned down. You're his favorite player. How about sending him a jersey?" I instantly went berserk.
Yeah.
That's nice. It's a nice touch.
No, come on.
What?
Oh, you lose your house, you get a
You're an
nice
idiot.
jersey.
You are an
Keeps
idiot.
you warm
Seriously.
at night.
So he's supposed to send a jersey to everybody who has trauma.
So
Every house fire should get a free jersey.
So I made a comment.
There's nowhere to hang it.
He's always doing that just to piss me
Yeah.
off. So I instantly go on Twitter to defend Warren, which I'm going to defend Warren 9 out of 10 times anyway.
Yeah.
Warren texts me and says, "Let it go. It doesn't matter." And then we talk. And Warren's like, all the guy had to do was say, "Hey, Mr. Sapp, buddy's house burned down, blah, blah, blah. You're my favorite player. If I send you a jersey, would you mind signing it and sending it back?"
Yeah.
And Warren said he would have done that.
He couldn't have done that. The house burned down. There's no address to return it to.
But if he probably says, listen though, if he says, if I send you a jersey, do you mind signing it? He might have been like, I'll do you one better. I have a jersey, I'll sign it and send it to you. It's all about the approach. He approached him entitled, like, hey, this
bro.
happened. First of all, calling somebody bro, you don't know. It's real condescending. Right? So you do that, and now I've put a wall up. And I'm just
Right.
like, you're being disrespectful and you're being entitled. You're not getting anything.
And using Warren just as the reference for a second, and anybody who's listened to the show, they know my relationship with Warren.
Yeah.
I consider us really good friends. I don't know what Warren considers, but, you know, we're friends. And I would never call Warren bro.
Yeah.
I know Warren well enough that I would never walk up and put my arm around him.
Yeah.
You know, where people do when they try to take pictures.
What does Chidi Ahanotu call him?
You know, it's funny because Warren and I talked about it yesterday. You know, Chidi came, I want to be careful how I word things. I wanted to say it a certain way. So, you know about they were going to fight a couple years ago.
Yep.
Do you know about that? So, Warren went on Calta's show, and they talked about it. It's been a dead issue for a long time because Chidi wouldn't agree to terms, and I consider Chidi a friend, and I told Chidi, you need Warren. Warren doesn't need you.
Yeah.
You need this to make the money. You need this for the fight. Warren can fight anybody because it's Warren.
Yeah.
You need Warren. So now he's come out of wherever, and now he's going to sue, allegedly, he's going to allegedly sue Calta for a comment that he made in this interview like a year and a half ago.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the entitlement and that people feel to people that you don't know or have a relationship with is mind-blowing. I want to get your take on something.
All right, let's hit this break, and then we'll come back and close out the hour. Jot it down,
Yeah.
because if it's me, I'm going to forget. That's why I have paper here all the time. All right, coming to you live from Tournament de Pizza. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8 Man Strong and Staff Son. We'll be right back.